everybody. Welcome to St. Catherine Drexel Academy's TK and K virtual information session. I'm Mrs. Bondi, I'm the principal, and I'd like to pass it over to our kindergarten and TK teacher.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Nolan, the kindergarten TK teacher at St. Catherine Drexel Academy.
So thank you for joining us. I'm sorry we couldn't do this in person, but we thought we would bring our information session to you. We're going to go through some slides and answer some kind of general logistic information questions that you might have, and then talk about next steps for our school. So again, thank you for joining us. As you can see, since you've already met us, I am Mrs. Bondi. That is my email address. And here is my picture as well. And then Mrs. Noland is on the side, and that is her email address. So if you need anything, please make sure to let us know. I'm going to play a quick video for you that really tells the story of our school well. You can find it on YouTube as well, but I think this is a great way to start, so it kind of frames what we do here at St. Catherine Drexel Academy.
What I like the most about St. Catherine Drexel Academy is that they want to make learning fun. All my kids never have ever in the entirety of their school career here said, oh, I don't want to go to school, school's boring. They've always been excited and energetic about coming to school. Learning has been fun here.
That video is that we didn't ask or tell the students what to say at all. They were prepared and came up with their own answers, and it told a really beautiful story about how students feel on campus, what we're trying to achieve, and we were really proud of how that came out, and I think it's really indicative of the environment that we create here. So our next few slides talk specifically about what makes our school special. So our school has 4 main values that we use, and we call them our grad profile. We use them on report cards for specific assignments. We give monthly awards based on these values. We hold PTG meetings with small group topics on these values. So they really are how we identify as a school, as teachers, leaders, students, parents, everybody. So I thought I would kind of break down some of the components about our school using those values. So our first one is forward thinkers. So we really value collaboration. You will not see a single standalone desk on our campus. You'll see tables. In TK and K, they have circular tables. In the upper grades, they have long tables, because we really are trying to teach kids how to work together to do great things. And as we all know, in all of our jobs, in all of our world needs, we need to learn how to respect other people and work together. So we do that through projects that require collaboration. We really focus on communication and just working on those leadership skills to make students feel more confident and comfortable. We also have the benefit of using a lot of adaptive technology. So the difference between just regular technology versus adaptive is adaptive meets the students' needs directly at where they are currently at. So when they take, for instance, Freckle, one of the adaptive technology tools we use, when they take their initial assessment, it will then place them based on how many answers they gave correct or incorrect. And it will identify skills and standards specific to that student's needs. So the great thing about that is we still have small group classes, small group instruction where the teacher can do a whole group lesson and break the students up into groups, where you could be doing a whole group lesson on the same topic, but in your small groups, you could be receiving work that is more directly suited for your level. So this works for 2 things. It propels students forward who need to be challenged at a higher level, and it can also give remedial time to students who are still needing that extra time to get caught up. But we also know that technology doesn't replace the teacher. It supplements the teacher and complements the teacher. But there are so many tools in this 21st century that allow for immediate feedback and getting us really accurate results of where the students are. We're also next generation standards, science standards aligned. So we have a STEM hour once a week. All of our STEM and science and math classes are all NGSS aligned. We really try to do inquiry-based, hands-on experiments, labs. We have a lower school and an upper school STEM lab for where they can do these activities. So we really focus on being the most innovative we can be with our approach to teaching. In addition, our next value is resilient learners. So we at St. Catherine Drexel Academy implement blended learning. And what that is it's a mixture of whole group and small group instruction that is personalized and individualized to the different students. I was a former English teacher before I became a principal, and there would be a class that I had last year where my students were from the 2nd percentile to the 99th. And so it's very difficult to assume that everybody is at the same place. So this blended learning allows us to still do things as a whole class, but kind of like I said with the adaptive technology, we do a lot of small group station rotation instruction where the students get more individual attention with the teacher, they get more individualized work, and they really get time to collaborate with their peers in a productive way. We also implement standards referenced grading, which is what San Diego Unified also does. So students are assessed on their mastery of the standards. So we use, instead of an A through F scale, a mastery, exceeds, progressing, and initially progressing. So it focuses more on growth than it does achievement, which is what we're really looking for. We know that kids grow at different levels and achieve at different levels, and it's not fair for us to assume that everyone has that same standard. But what we can assume is that we want to see growth in every child, however big or small that growth is. Some students grow multiple grade levels in 1 year, some just one, but again, we praise and focus on growth. Speaking of, we also focus a lot on a growth mindset. We really try to get our students to focus on not yet. If they can't do something now, how can we make them more successful? And like I said, we like to celebrate growth and progress. Education is not always equitable. Some students come with language differences in their home. Some students have different socioeconomic statuses. What we want on campus is for every student to feel like they can achieve to their highest potential, and we will give them the tools to do so. So instead of expecting everybody to get 100% on everything all the time, which isn't always practical, we like to focus on growth, focusing on I can and I will, and knowing that that timeline can be a little bit more flexible. We are also global citizens. So again, I mentioned collaboration before. That also works in terms of recess and lunch. And we have a buddy bench. We have USD counselors that are on campus, volunteer counselors that help lead small groups and whole groups and individual groups where we talk about friendship and boundaries and relationships. We really want the kids to collaborate, to learn respect, and to have them hone on those leadership skills for them to be more successful in the future. Again, we use adaptive technology, and with that means using it responsibly. We are all leaving digital footprints. So instead of being afraid of teaching the students technology, we want to teach them how to use it appropriately, and we monitor it that way. So it's a lot of responsibility on the kids, but as we know, when especially students that go on to the Catholic high schools, they're issued a one-on-one device when they step onto campus. We want them to be prepared to use it effectively and efficiently. And again, I mentioned we are NGSS aligned. So that means looking at the world in terms of how can we solve some of these problems. Our students right now are working on engineering fairs, even remotely. And a lot of it starts with identifying a problem and trying to find a solution. So what will make our world a better place? How can the time they spend here impact our world? And then last, we are also servant leaders. We are a Catholic school, so the spiritual formation of all students is really important to us. They have religion class where they get dedicated time. We start and end every day with prayer. We have multiple prayer service opportunities throughout the year. We also attend weekly mass as a school at Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church, and the students are in charge of proclaiming the readings and bringing up the gifts and being altar servers. So they participate, and we also have a choir where students can participate. We also offer a retreat for every grade level. It's usually a half-day retreat once a year, and in the afternoon, they do a service opportunity. For instance, one team level this year decided to clean up the church and offered their services to help do some cleaning, since we knew that was a service that was needed. Another class made toys for the cats and dogs at the San Diego Humane Society and donated them. So a lot of different opportunities to put our faith into action here, which we believe is a really important thing for children. Just some logistics. Our school day lasts from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. and we have half days currently on Wednesdays where we dismiss at noon. We partner with the YMCA Character Builders organization, who provides our before and after school care. They are a licensed program. All payment and scholarship opportunities are done through them. But what we really like about them is it's not just glorified babysitting. They do a lot of really quality programming based on different skills. We've had a fire truck come so that the kids could tour the fire truck. We have coding opportunities. So they also have homework help and tutoring hour. So it's a really high quality before and after school care opportunity. Our tuition for next school year is $6,150 per child. We do offer multi-child discounts for families with one or two or more children at our school. And we also do needs-based applications for tuition assistance. So we do have tuition assistance available, and there's an application process for that. We also offer sports opportunities for students to participate in through the Central City and South Bay Parochial Sports League. For TK through 4th grade, soccer is what is offered for co-ed. And as they enter the upper school grades in 5th through 8th, they have the opportunity to play football, volleyball, and soccer and basketball. As I mentioned earlier, we have a great collaboration with USD counselors for small group, individual, and whole class counseling and social emotional learning. This has been huge for us. Kids come from all walks of life to school, and while the teachers are very attuned to their needs, we also know that sometimes they have needs beyond what the teachers can work with. So having that extra resource of someone to talk to who isn't someone who's grading them and who isn't necessarily in charge of their education has been a great resource for our students. As I said too, they do small groups. We have a friendship group. We had a leadership group. But they also do whole class, where the upper school grades had a talk on healthy relationships and boundaries and goal setting. So we really utilize that partnership to benefit our students as much as possible. I will then pass it over to Mrs. Noland, who's going to talk about what life is like for a TK and kindergartner at our school.
Hello. Yes, you will see students very happy playing and exploring, working with children of all ages, because throughout the day there's opportunities for them to be working with children in other grade levels. For example, they have a STEM hour. They work with 1st and 2nd. We have buddies that are 5th grade. And recess. So there's times throughout the day that they will be playing with other age children. They participate in a variety of activities. We have basically 4 blocks of time that the children, for example, will have religion, language arts, math, science. They have opportunities to work on, they have iPads throughout the day. There is social studies, there's character building, there's, again, STEM hours. So there's many opportunities to have activities throughout the day. Variety of manipulatives. Our math is pretty much based on using hands-on activities, working in the classroom. You come visit our classroom, it's very colorful, but again, it's their decorations, their writing, their artifacts. You will see teachers promoting leadership and character development, working with individual students. We do a lot of one-on-one, small group, and whole group throughout the day. Modeling the love of reading through all the grades. We stress read, read, read. It's very important for all subjects. Integrated curriculum that brings faith into learning with daily religion, prayer, and weekly masses. Kindergarten and TK participate. They prepare mass as well. And we are usually sitting with our buddies of different grades. This year we're sitting with 5th and 7th grade, so it's a great opportunity to get to know other children as well. And they're great role models for us. You also see our curriculum is differentiated because children do not all learn in the same way, and they come from they have different backgrounds and experiences. Students have many opportunities to learn through play. I like to call it in the afternoons, we sometimes have purposeful play, which we might give them a little project, like you need to build a habitat with whatever manipulatives you are using. So there is a purpose to the play. They are in a very warm, loving, and safe environment, very much like a family here, and where parents feel very comfortable in sending their children to our school. Small classes this year, our class is 14, 3 are TK, 11 are kindergarten. And you will see happy children.
And just to piggyback,
Okay,
Ms. Noland has been here for 32 years. So she is a wonderful veteran teacher and has done wonderful work with all of the students that she's had. And she mentioned that we have small class sizes. The most we would go is 22 in a class. So we're looking to grow, but we're not looking to go well beyond our means. We want to keep those small classes so that we can give that individual attention to students. Great. Thank you, Mrs. Noland. Some next steps for everybody. If you're interested, obviously in light of the coronavirus concerns, we hope everybody is safe and healthy and know that we are praying for our world and for all of our students and families and all of you that you are safe and healthy. And because of that, our campus is closed to tours right now until we get the all clear from the governor. So the option we have right now is we can schedule one-on-one Zoom or Google Hangout sessions with myself or Mrs. Noland. If you have any further questions, please email us. Our emails are right up here. We can just email with you or schedule a face-to-face. I know that face-to-face virtual meetings are very popular right now to create that connection and relationship. So we're happy to do that. If you're interested in receiving an application and you haven't already done so, please email me and we will mail you one. Someone is always here rotating from our office staff during the week during this temporary school closure, but we are happy to mail one to you. So just email me and let me know and give us your address and we will get one in the mail for you. Once you turn in a completed application, we will schedule an assessment with Mrs. Noland. So the assessment isn't necessarily determining of whether or not your child gets into the school, but it lets her know kind of where they're at. As we all know, some kids come with preschool experience, some have stayed at home with either their mom, dad, or grandparents. So it just gives her an idea of where the child is currently at. Obviously, with the coronavirus concerns and social distancing practices, that is pending. Usually we do it in the spring, so we're going to have to extend that deadline a little bit. So if you are interested and once you turn in the application, we'll have you on that list and we will contact you about scheduling that. And then after the assessment, the next spot is to finalize your agreement through TADS. TADS is our tuition management system. All of our tuition payments and incidentals are done through there online. So part of that, once you turn in the hard copy, is then we finalize it online and you click a button that says finalize agreement. So we set up, you can do automatic bank payments, you can get invoices sent. So you have a lot of options about what you can pick, which day of the month it comes out of your account. So all of that is done through TADS. And most likely we'll host a new family gathering in the summer. Again, once we're in the all clear, we'll have you onto campus to meet, mingle, see the classroom, and answer any other questions that we can. Again, we know this is a really difficult time for families, but we want you to know we are still here. We are excited about the future, and hopefully we're able to build a robust kindergarten class. And if you need anything in the meantime, just please let us know, and we'll be happy to answer any of the questions you have. Mrs. Noland, do you have anything else to say?
I just wanted to mention a little bit of what kindergarten readiness is.
Oh, sure.
Developmentally ready to cope with the school environment, both socially, emotionally, academically, and physically without stress. So usually the Gazelle tool that I use is called the Gazelle Readiness Assessment, and it measures a child's behavior through observation. There's no way to teach to it. It's really a developmental to see where the child is developmentally. It indicates how well a child's mind and body work together. It also determines whether a child can do abstract activities. It shows me whether how they handle a pencil, see differences in shapes, and how they can express their ideas. It's really it's test, not I don't even like to call it a test. I like to call it a kindergarten game, but it's just giving me an idea of where they are and if they can follow directions. It's not so much about academics at all right now. That's my throughout the rest of the year.
And one thing we forgot to mention too was the difference between transitional kindergarten for age and kindergarten. So transitional kindergarten is a very specific age. They have to be turning 5 before December 31st. So they can enter the school year at age 4, but they must turn 5 before December 31st. And then kindergarten, you usually are 5 before September 1st is usually the rule that we follow. So right now, those two are comboed together. So those that are in TK this year are coming into Mrs. Nolan's class again for kindergarten next year and have an advantage because they've had an additional year of kindergarten, but the expectations are much different. And Mrs. Nolan can even talk, if you're someone who has a child at a TK age, she can talk specifically about that. But we know that that's most likely their first experience in formal school, and they have different standards and expectations. But yeah, there's a specific age group that is important to note. So if you have any questions about where your child fits into those categories, please make sure to let us know. But yeah, thank you again for joining us, and we hope to hear from you all soon. And again, we hope and pray that you're healthy and well, and that everybody is trying to find the silver lining in this extra family time that we have together. And if, again, any questions, you have our emails here. Thank you.
Thank you.